Using the correct size mandrel for the caliber you are going to neck turn, thread the mandrel into the back side of the neck turn body, making sure there is enough clearance that the mandrel will not contact the cutting bit. Mandrels for 22 cal, 6mm, 6.5mm, and 30 cal are included. Other calibers are sold separately. Make sure there is ample clearance for the thickness of a cartridge neck between the mandrel and the cutting bit. Slide a case onto the mandrel until its mouth contacts the flat at the beginning of the mandrel's threads. Adjust the depth that the cutting bit will run down the length of the case neck by threading the mandrel in or out. The depth is ultimately up to you, but a general guideline is to cut until the bit just makes contact with the cartridge shoulder. It is important to note that cutting into the shoulder of the case will weaken it and could cause damage to the case and firearm during firing. Maintaining a constant trim length will help to minimize this issue. Being careful to hold the mandrel in place, thread the neck turn tool onto the tool spindle. Using a 5/8 inch wrench on the flats, snug the tool spindle, but do not over tighten. Loosen the knurled shell lock and insert the Hornady shell holder. Tighten the knurled shell lock until the end of the shell holder spindle is almost flush with the shell holder. Insert the case into the shell holder. Without pushing in on the shell spindle, adjust the neck turn tool spindle so that the cartridge mouth sits just shy of the end of the mandrel. There should be enough room to remove and insert cartridge cases. Lock the spindle. Attach your electric drill to the 1/4 inch drill adapter on the shell holder spindle. If your drill has a 2-speed gearbox, it is advisable to use the low-speed gear until you are familiar with how everything works. In addition, it is easiest to unlock and lock cartridge cases by holding the shell lock stationary and spinning the shell spindle with the drill. With the cartridge in the shell holder, slide the shell spindle forward until the mouth of the case is over the mandrel. Tighten the shell lock. The cutter should already be set so it does not remove any material from the case neck. At this point, it is advisable to add a small amount of lubrication to the inside and outside of the case neck. A shot of case lube or cutting fluid will work. Run the case onto the mandrel as far as it can go and spin it slowly with the drill. Tighten down, clockwise, the cutter adjustment knob until the cutter begins removing material from the case neck. This is your baseline cutter setting. From this setting, based on how thin you would like your case necks, you may increment the adjustment knob as many clicks as necessary to get to this thickness. Keep in mind that each click is 1/1000th. Cartridge case necks are not entirely concentric from the factory. The tool may begin cutting material off certain spots on the neck, but not others. This may affect initial neck thickness measurements. Throughout the use of this tool, ensure that the shell holder spindle remains lubricated. Use the hole on top of the frame for oil, or case lube can be applied directly to the spindle.